a lot has been, not a lot, I guess, some issue has been made of Cora taking the day off yesterday.
Yeah.
And so it was his daughter's graduation. It was on in the morning. How, since you've been covering the Red Sox forever, how often do managers take a day off for something personal?
Yeah, they do. I mean, and the one that jumps out to me, if you remember, John Farrell missed a game once to go watch his son make his major league debut for another team. He was pitching, I believe, at the Kansas City Royals. And I remember that, that was one that I sort of scratched my head on, because now you're talking about going to see another. He literally sat at another major league ballpark and watched a game. So you can't play it both ways in sports today, right? You give the freedom, the players get to miss things as they should. We know we talk so much about mental health. We talk so much about the grind of these things. I had absolutely no problem with Cora missing it to see his daughter's graduation. It was one game, and they won. So in the end,
so they
there's
should
really
be fired.
nothing to complain about.
I mean, they don't even need him.
There is that. It's great, and this is such a baseball thing, but the win goes on Alex Cora's all-time record.
Oh, it does? That's funny.
That sucks.
Even though he didn't do it.
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Yeah, Ramon Vasquez gets nothing for it. I mean, I'm sure you get a nice bottle of wine or something from Cora, but he gets nothing for it.
Don't you think if you were Vasquez, you'd want that? Like, if you go to Baseball Reference,
I want the 1-0 record.
Yeah, you have 1,000.
Well, yes, I would.
Yeah, I'd actually want that.
Then we actually had a great. I was with Ramon right before the game, and we just going down these weird rabbit holes. Like, he honestly didn't know who would take over if he got ejected last night.
Oh, really?
He's like, yeah, boy, we better go talk about that. And then the other part was, we got talking about that. Why don't you get the win or the loss? And then we went, what happens if you come in during a game because the guy gets ejected? And then Ramon was like, I don't know. If it's like before the fifth inning, should I get it? If it's after the fifth inning, do I not get it? And I think that's why it just all goes to the manager.
That would be so funny if he went out first inning and just started arguing balls and strikes. Like if he was chirping from the dugout.
It just gets ejected, and they're all scratching their heads in the dugout, looking at each other. You go. No, you go.
No, you make Devers player chief.
I'm in charge.
And he says, no, I will not be the manager.
Or better yet, he goes, I'm third. I'm playing third.
That's right.
Yeah, we got a substitution.
My lineup card.
Yeah, he's like, Bregman, you're on first. I'm playing third. I'm going to shake things up around here. Go ahead, John.
No, this team, we started talking about the players. This team is far more talented than it was last year, Tom. They can't get out of their own way. Why and how much is the manager to blame for this?
I don't think it's the manager to blame. I think it's the pitching. I mean, the pitching is supposed to be better than it's been. Simple as that. We had a graphic last night. They have the third most games where the pitcher didn't make it through 5 innings in Major League Baseball. And the two above them are Chicago, and I forget who the other one was, but they're both Baltimore. They're both awful. And so it's the starting pitching. It's supposed to be better. Walker Buehler comes back tonight. He'd been pitching really well before the bursitis in the shoulder. Tanner Houck has been awful, and so he's on the injured list now. He's no pitcher in Red Sox history has ever had 2 starts where he gave up 11 earned runs, and he's done it. It's not Memorial Day yet. And so they got to figure out some things on the pitcher side. Last night, it was the plan in advance, but Hunter Dobbins was pitching really well, just his 5th major league start. He was only 66 pitches, but as soon as he got through the lineup a second time, he was out of the game, and that was by design because he struggled to get guys out a third time. So I feel like they're getting on top of what to do with the staff. Justin Slayton came in. He has struggled. He's really good last night, got 4 outs. So it's the pitching right now. Now, if it doesn't get better, then you start to point fingers, but they should pitch a hell of a lot better than they have so far.
Okay, so there's an article in the Globe today by Peter Abraham that the Red Sox need to make changes and they need to make them quicker. The season is going to slip away from them. Do you agree with that sentiment, and what would need to be done?
The only thing I disagree on that sentiment is that I don't think we're there yet, but I think we're close. I remember talking to some people at the beginning of this homestand. This is the longest homestand of the year. It's 10 games. They're 4 games into it. And there was a feeling that if this homestand got by everybody and they were still struggling, then they might have to start thinking about doing something. And something might be what we're seeing, right? Christian Campbell's taking ground balls at first base. Does that mean Marcelo Meyer comes up? Is it Meyer and Anthony coming up somehow? I don't think there's going to be firings here because as much as they've struggled, they're still a game under 500 and 4.5 out of first, right in the wild card. It's not like they've fallen out of the race like the Baltimore Orioles have.
Well, no, you can't fire the manager. I mean, they just
right.
extended him.
Even anything.
Right.
Yeah, I think the changes are going to have to be on the field, and I think the obvious ones are Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony. One of both of them getting a chance. Now, if you move Campbell, I watched Campbell taking a lot of ground balls at first base yesterday. He didn't play. He put in a long day working out there, and he's fine. Like, I think it hasn't been real good anyway, so throw him out there, and that would allow you to bring Meyer up, who's been playing second base in Worcester, probably going to be better defensively than Campbell is at second base. So you're getting another bat in the lineup. You're getting better defensively. I mean, that's an easy change. But I just think, last night was a really good win. Mets are a first-place team. They're struggling right now. But Senga's been arguably the best pitcher in baseball as a starter. His 1.02 ERA. They scratched out 3 runs. They played good defense. They got a win. Now, can you build on that? I don't know. Saturday night, they got a walk-off win. I say, can you build on that? And then they were awful Sunday. So that's what's been frustrating about this team. They can't string together a few wins. They got to do it this week. Or I think, you'll be a third of the way through the season. Sunday's the third mark of the season, 54 games.
All right. I don't want to brag, but I threw out the first pitch in Worcester a couple Sundays ago. So,
How'd it go?
Oh, I mean, I nailed it. The crowd was intense. It was almost too much.
Was the pitcher on the mound behind you? Was the pitcher on the mound behind you?
No, it was my son and I, and we were in front. I had to throw the ball 20 feet. It was not a difficult exercise.
Like the first time I threw out a pitch, it was up in Portland, and in the majors, like you're the only one out there. In the minors, most of the time, the starting pitcher's already on the mound waiting, and the dude was like, "Can we just get this? Can you get the hell out of the way so I can pitch?"
Yeah, I would have been.
It was such a get in, get out, let's go.
Yeah, I was fortunate that was not the case. I can tell you there was no great ovation. But when I was there is a reason I brought that up. Is that A, to make fun of myself, and B, to tell you that when I was there, like I was talking to guys that were covering the game, and their take was Meyer is such like a fantastic defensive shortstop that the team would be reticent to not play him there. Have you heard anything like that? Like if Meyer comes up, which he's ready to do in probably time, is there any way Meyer plays short and not second? Because he's so good at that position.
I would doubt that would happen right away because Story is really good defensively. He's been struggling at the plate. He's driving a run last night. But Story's good defensively. And so, I don't know, flipping Story to second base to make room for Meyer, I don't think that happens right away because I watched Meyer. Listen, I would argue that Marcelo Meyer was the best player at spring training. And that's not the best prospect. He was the Red Sox best player. Like, he was phenomenal. And he's so good defensively. But I think that transfers to second base. I watched a little bit of him play second base over the weekend, and he looked really good there.
No, he could play second. It's just that shortstop's a more important position. And if you put him there, he has that ability.
But I would push back, and TC, you know this. When Story played second base a couple of years ago, he was a Gold Glover over there.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, but that was, remember there was worry about his arm there. That's not the worry this year. He's been really good at short. He has been good defensively. So, I mean, I get it. But
do you have a problem with it, do you think?
Here's the problem with that. You have –
Yeah,
I don't think, no, not knowing Story, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who'd have a problem. But it's a lot easier to do that in the offseason than it is mid-season.
Right.
So I think if I'm calling up Meyer, I'm putting him at second base. He'll be good there. Story's good at shortstop. Bregman's good at third. You got a really good infield all of a sudden. And then in the offseason, that's when you have the conversation, hey, it's his time now. We got to move you over.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, you're asking people to move all over the place as it is. It's
I mean, there comes a point where you got to stop moving everybody, right?
Yeah, I know. It's odd that they put themselves in such a pickle with the first base situation. It is really weird,
unconscionable that they didn't solve that during spring training.
Yeah,
listen, I'm telling you what, this is a textbook example that other major league teams are going to look at in the future, and the Red Sox will too, of how you don't handle a situation communication-wise. From the start, right? Like from the offseason when you didn't talk to him about third base, how you let that be a thing at spring training, how you let this be a thing, from the start. He's your highest paid player. You got to find a way to communicate with this guy and let him understand what's going on, and they clearly didn't do that.
All right. Well, Tom, it's always great to have you on. Does a great job at NESN. And I watch the MLB network, not the network, but the other local broadcast. Tom is the best studio host. You guys have the best studio show by far. And of all the
Thank you.
major league teams, I truly believe that. I mean that with all my heart. And so
I'd clip that and bring that into my next contract negotiation, but I don't know that it would help.
I carry a lot of weight around these parts as
yeah.
a media critic, so I'll tell you that. But, Tom, you do a great job, as always. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Toucher and Hardy here. Point slightly up and to the left. For more Red Sox analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. Point slightly down and to the left. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.